Hello everyone, I'm Mark91 and welcome to my very first top 10 list in which I show my 10 favorite Pokemon. Keep in mind, these are my favorites, so you're probably going to disagree with me on some points, but that's your rightful opinion. If you really don't like my list, go make your own. Okay, the rules I've got set up: one Pokemon per legendary set or evolutionary tree. So, for example, one of the legendary Birch or one of the Pokemon from the Bulbasaur evolutionary tree, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur. One of each can be in there, but not multiple of the same set or evolution tree. Also, when determining my choices and reasons why some of my choices in here, I left out the anime. The reason for this is that I followed most of the original series, Kanto and Johto, but of the more recent ones covering Hoenn and Sinnoh, I haven't followed those as much, so hardly followed any of them. So if I did count in the anime, the first generations would have an unfair advantage over the newer ones, which I don't like. And also some of my reasons are related to how useful some Pokemon were in the games to me, so this can be a tad hard to understand, so please keep in mind, if one Pokemon might have been very useful to you, but no use at all to me, and vice versa. So please keep that in mind, and with that let's move on to my number 10. Alakazam. Alakazam can often be caught reasonably early as Abra, an elusive Pokemon which kinda reminds me of a certain villain I like from an old cartoon. Abra can be acquired in a couple of ways. You can find it and catch it, which will take a pretty powerful Pokeball or special tactics like that lock the Pokemon down, or you can get it at the game corner by spending either time and or cash there. Alakazam is in the list because of its usefulness in the games. As a good special sweeper, well, not really a special sweeper, but it was pretty useful against ghost and psychic types, which usually aren't very good against, specifically gyms that are based around the zoo. Usually I suck at those, but with Alakazam I had almost no problem with them. But it isn't as useful against other types, so that dragged it down to number 10. Weavile. Weavile is a lightning fast and powerful attacker, which almost always strikes first and hard. It usually doesn't last long in a battle though, but by the time that it does go down, it'll have left its mark by KOing 1 or 2 Pokemon. First time I saw Weavile was when 2 of it showed up at their debut in the 8th movie, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, and I thought their scene was pretty memorable and funny, which probably also added to why I like the Pokemon. Scizor. The evolved form of Scyther is a strong but slow hitter and has some pretty cool looks to it. It makes up for its slowness by being very resistant to most types of attacks and a strong attacker, but it is still vulnerable to some types of attack. The combination of steel and bug type and a good defense make Scizor a physical tank, hard hitting and resistant but slow. Plus, look at this latest sprite from SoulSilver and HeartGold. It almost seems to make a bring it on gesture with its claw. Absol. The first time I ran into Absol in Emeralds, I tried to catch it, but a critical hit blew that chance. The next one I did manage to catch, but it proved to be quite a bigger challenge than I had expected, as I needed an Ultra Ball to finally catch it. After that I put it in my battle party to see how good it would be after the trouble I went through to catch it, and it stayed there for the rest of the game due to its strong attacks. Also, from the Pokédex entries, it came over as a misunderstood hero, since it tries to warn people of incoming disasters but ends up being blamed for causing the disaster. Charizard and Swampert. These two take the 6th spot together. They were both my first starter in Fire Red and Emerald respectively, and when I sent them over to Pro, I decided to use them for double battles to see how they would work, seeing as they're pretty opposite types. And that led to me experimenting with attacks with, and on, and eventually this led to a double team dream. They ended up blasting almost anything with a combination of special and physical attacks that struck the other team but left each other unharmed. Most of my victories in Pearl's Battle Tower and Pokémon Battle Revolution for the Wii were due to these two, but then my DS got stolen with Pearl and Emerald in it, and I lost them. I still got their data on Battle Revolution, so I still can battle with them, but only there. I'm also working on training a new double team to replace them on the DS, but they lack something, some feeling of accomplishment, of success the original two gave me. Suicune. The Beast of the Northwind is number 5 because of Pokémon Crystal, which was the very first Pokémon game I got about almost a decade ago. Since it was my first game of the series, I knew absolutely nothing and had to learn everything from scratch. And of course I made mistakes then that are really stupid when I look back at it, such as not saving and reloading at important parts like gym battles, and I defeated all the legendary beasts in the game, including Suicune. Because of the attention spent on Suicune, I knew it was important, and it kept my attention when it kept appearing along the way through Johto and Kanto. And when I finally got into a battle with it, I really tried to catch it, but in the end it took itself down due to confusion, which was a major bummer. Even though I had beaten Suicune, the leader of the legendary beasts, I still felt like I lost a bit. But when I saw it again in Fire Red, it brought back a lot of memories. And this time, I did catch it. After chasing it halfway around Kanto,